Okay, today we're going to start working on the back. Yeah, as you can see, we haven't been back here in a while. But this is our next step. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get this lip laying down flat. Now right now I got it blocked up. If you can see, if I can get down here enough, in here there's a lot of little pieces that are sticking up. Now this is mostly from me just being sloppy. Now I have to go and clean it all up. But what I'm going to do is get all those out of there, and then this way I can silicone this, and we'll drop this down, screw this down. We can go ahead then and put this all back together, screw this all back up, get ready to put on our rub rails there. So to do that, we're going to use one of these. This is one of those all-purpose saw things, and they work pretty neat. They just vibrate. This has a little blade on it. It's a wood metal blade, so I don't know how long it's going to last, but we'll see. So let's get in here. The nice thing about it is, because this blade has an offset, that nut is actually recessed, so we can actually lay this thing pretty much flush and then just clean up anything that's sticking up. So let's get to that. So you can see that works pretty good. So now we just got to do the whole way down. I'll tell you what, that made quick work of this. It only took a few minutes to get all those little spots out of there. I just gotta sweep it up and we'll caulk it and get some of our screws in there. All right, so we got this all cleaned up now. If you look, we made a pencil mark all the way down. What we had to do is there's a bow in this thing about here. So using our pipe clamps, which we got all kinds of clamps here, so we were able to get it sucked up pretty straight. What's happening is we're hitting the back of the flooring right up against here. So we've gone as far as we can go. You can see the flooring right in there. So what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and shoot some silicone in here. Drop this back down. We have our wedges in right now, so we got that nice gap. We'll drop this down, get our clamps back on here, and re-screw it, and that will be it for that. start about in the middle, pre-drill our holes, put our screws in. All right, we're going to put some caulk on the screw. Here's one. Since we got some extra caulk here, we'll just go ahead and steal that. We're going to come back and wipe up this caulk anyway. So if we can use some, we'll use some. All right, so there you have it. We got this back piece all screwed down and clamped. It takes about 24 hours for the silicone to go ahead and dry, so we're just going to leave this overnight, and then tomorrow we'll come back, clean everything up. This curved thing here, that's our trim piece. So we're going to have to heat that thing up with the heat gun, clean it up, heat it up, and put that back down, and then this whole thing gets screwed again. So those few screws that you just seen us put in there are just to hold this down. This whole thing's going to get screwed down. All right, so here's that back trim piece, which is slightly curved. So what our plan here, we took this beginning part, which was pretty straight, and we're going to go ahead and straighten this out against this 2x4 all the way. Now, the plan to do this is we're going to do the same thing that it did to get crooked like this. We're going to heat this up. I got a heat gun, and we're going to go ahead and slowly bend it back, screw it down until we get it right along the edge. This is a nice straight 2x4 I just happen to have laying around, and see if we can get this thing straight. is the beginning of the worst part of the bend right through here. This may be the worst part. This little tiny hook off to the side here. All right, so you got to tell me in the comments below. Did you really think that this was going to work? I know you were thinking I was going to break it somewhere along the way, but all we did is we used heat to bend this back. It got bent because of heat. We just fixed it, that's all. All right, now we got to go put this on the boat. You know, one of the things I'm always saying is every time I think that I'm just about to the point where we're going to be able to finish up one aspect of this build, something else turns up. So I'm here getting ready to put the walls on, and I do have to drill the holes all the way through for the bolts, but I realized that we never put the hole in for the power. So that's where it's going. Let's go ahead and drill it. Well, you can see now we're into the wood core. So here's our fiberglass. And that was one of the things I just wanted to see real quick. Wanted to make sure that was sticking well, which it is, which is good. There's the hole. So there's the hole, and that's going right inside. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll seal this plywood up. You can see we've got a pretty good thickness here on the fiberglass, and we're going to seal that right in there. And what that's going to do is just, if we get any water splash, it's going to make it have to splash a little higher to get inside. That's the reason we're putting these things on. This is butyl cork that we're using here. You probably could get away with using silicone here without too much of a hassle. But I got the butyl here. Butyl's probably a little bit better, just because it tends not to get hard. And what I'm doing is, should have had a glove on, but it made cleanup of my fingers a lot easier. We're just going to go ahead and build some up around this edge. And we bolted up all the way around here, so we'll just go ahead and put this in so we get a nice good seal. Now, I don't like using butyl cork for what I'm doing here, mostly because the butyl cork doesn't really get that hard, and therefore will attract some dirt, and this won't look totally beautiful in the long run, but nobody's going to see this. This is about as buried can get. It'll be behind the batteries, underneath the compartment. So that's done. We'll go ahead and drill our rest of our holes here and put these sides on.